red line is like 7,500 RPM. And that's where you have to drive this car, up in the RPMs, to really get it to move.
And how many miles are on this?
117,000.
117,000 miles on a 1985.
Look at that. Untouched by human shoes. That's got a little dirt on it. I just ran a load to the dump and got all dusty.
You were the coolest guy at the dump, Mills. I can guarantee you that. This Land Cruiser is under 100,000 miles. That's ridiculous. Hello, everybody. It's Netgear57, your virtual car friend, and today we are out here in, where is it? Cedar Crest, New Mexico. And I'm here with Mills. This is Net on the Streets, where I find cool people with cool cars. Mills is cool. I can confirm that. We drank a beer together. We drank a beer together about a month ago, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And he has this gorgeous AW11 MR2, and I was just floored at how beautiful this car is. It's basically all stock, 1985, first year of the AW11 MR2. How long have you had this car?
I bought it a year old, so it was 1986.
Do you remember what you paid?
Just a little bit under what they were selling for new. 11,000 maybe?
Okay, so you're almost the first owner from new.
Almost.
Basically.
Yeah.
What drew you to the MR2?
I had been reading about it before it even came out. I was an avid road and track reader. They were all going crazy over this car that hadn't come out yet. They hadn't seen yet, but they loved the specs. The fact that it was mid-engine, more of a runabout than a true sports car or GT. And I thought that would be a great commuter car. You know, it's got good gas mileage. I don't need a lot of room. I was ready for them to hit the street.
Dual overhead cam at the time was a hot thing for a four-cylinder.
Yes.
I'm assuming it gets good gas mileage.
Yeah, it gets like 32 or something.
Yeah, that's good by today's standards.
Yeah.
Okay, so what got you into cars? How long have you been a car guy?
I started noticing sports cars back when I was driving age, 16, 18 years old. My first car, my grandmother died and left me a little money, so I went out and tried to buy a Porsche, and they wouldn't bargain with me. So I bought an Alfa Romeo Spider, 1750 Veloce, and that was a fun car, but its reliability was, not
Toyota reliability.
Yeah. But it was fun, and it was an eye magnet. Then I started realizing that some other cars that weren't sports cars drove just as well, just as fast, and were a lot more reliable. I went through some just basic Japanese commuter types. Had an old Datsun 510 that we talked about.
Yeah. Souped
it up with a cam and a carb and some sway bars, and that was a fun car to drive. But those things, even out here in the desert states, they had rust.
If they're not melted away by rust, people want to mint for them.
Yeah.
I'd love a 510.
It's a great little car.
Yeah.
Why didn't they keep making them like another 20 years? They could have.
You're probably one of the early adopters of Japanese cars. You saw that Japan was, hey, they're building a fun, sprightly, reliable car. Look at that. And you kind of went with it.
I had a little front engine Mitsubishi Colt. It's a little tiny...
They're like a hatchback, right?
A little hatchback,
yeah.
Two-door hatchback. It had a 1600cc engine. It got around just fine. It had the dual stick on the floor.
Oh, for power and economy? Is that?
Yeah. That was my commuter for many years. It had everything I needed to get to work and sport around town a little bit. In 86, I got this. So this thing stayed in the garage most of the time.
And how many miles are on this?
117,000.
117,000 miles on a 1985. And that's not all, folks. This is for sale. Is it for sale?
Yeah, it's for sale.
It's for sale for the right price. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Sure.
You've got some stickers on the back here. So what all have you done with it?
Yeah, it's basically stock, except for it's got some ST Suspensions front and rear sway bars, which are, 40% stiffer than the original ones were like spaghetti. They were really
like a soda straw.
and these are maybe as thick as your thumb. K&N filter on it, and some Koni adjustable shocks in the struts. The engine's all stock except for the
K&N
free breathing filter.
Here's the 4AG twin cam power plant. Probably about 120 horsepower, something like that on this.
Yeah, something like that. But it revs just through the roof. Redline is like 7,500 RPM. And that's where you have to drive this car, up in the RPMs, to really get it to move.
Well, let's take a look at the interior.
Sure. There's a little dirt in there just from getting in and out. I didn't do any special cleaning job for you. This is the way it looks.
This is the way it lives. This is real life. And this is, for the year, you know, this is incredibly clean because the dashes on these are always cracked, always destroyed. These plastics are always sun-dried and just trashed.
And the original carpets are good because these protect. Look at that. Untouched by human shoes. Seats are very comfortable. I'm 6 foot. Well, I was 6'1" when I bought the car. Now I'm more like 6 foot. I fit in this cabin very easily. The car was kind of slammed in the press for bad ergonomics, but I'm an ergonomist, so I know what good ergonomics is.
And you liked it.
And this car fits me like a glove. It's got great side bolsters for the corners. It's got a nice headrest you can put right in the middle of your head back there. Everything works except the original radio, which probably has a couple bad capacitors in it by now. I didn't even replace it.
It's fun. It's fun by itself.
I listen to the engine.
So we talked about these cars on Bring a Trailer, you know, on classics.com, and I think that honestly is the best. That's going to do the best for this car. Maybe somebody watching, if you're watching this, send us an email, contact@collectorcarfeed.com if you want to make an offer on it. But I mean, this car just floors me. This is the nicest AW11 MR2 I've ever seen. This is to bleed the brakes. Yeah.
The original.
Yeah, the original brake bleeding tubes are right there.
And this is a nose bra that comes with it.
Mills told me early on how he learned of the dangers of the nose bra on cars.
That's right.
That's why it's not on the car, but it would be included.
You don't want to leave them out in the rain and then have a bright sunny day, New Mexico day after that. Could hurt your paint.
We're going for a ride in the MR2. This is actually the first time I've been in a first generation MR2. First time I've ridden in one. Low to the ground. The interior. Oh yeah, it'll.
It's go-kart.
That's a go-kart.
On the road.
The interior is small but doesn't feel cramped at all. AC works. We're gonna turn it off for more power. That's the turbo mode. Turning off the AC. And you were saying, Mills, when America discovered, I guess, performance cars, sports cars, straight line speed, that became what everyone was focused on.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, you know, the British sports cars have kind of held up the tradition of small, lightweight, underpowered, quote unquote, but they're just so much fun to drive. In the turns. They feel great. They put a big smile on your face. And you don't have to be blasting 10, 20 miles over the speed limit to have that fun.
No, I agree with you.
Once you get up into the 4th and 5th gear on the highway, this is a pretty fast car. But, you know, with 1600 cc's, it just doesn't accelerate like today's turbocharged, supercharged, and large displacement cars.
Yeah, this car, it would be a gem on Bring a Trailer. This would probably be one of the nicest first generation MR2s to sell on Bring a Trailer. Is it safe to say that you're a Toyota fan?
You know, back then when they were doing the Supra and the MR2s, I was a Toyota fan, but I've since kind of graduated to marques that have a little more sportiness in their blood.
Well, because you seem to have another very nice Toyota over here.
Yeah. This is the more utilitarian side of things.
So this is an FJ60 Land Cruiser.
Yep.
Tell me about your Land Cruiser.
It's been a Southwest truck its whole life. The lady I bought it from was in Lubbock, Texas, I believe. It was low miles, very little, virtually no rust. What you're looking at, except for the hood and the top, is original paint. And it hasn't been polished. It hasn't been waxed to death. I just try to keep it out of the sun as much as possible and protect it from any kind of hailstorms or anything. And the big hailstorm we did have up here 13 years ago, this baby was in the garage just by the luck of the draw.
By sheer luck.
Sheer luck. I've had it up to Ouray, Colorado once for a little four-wheeling, but it was a long way to go, and these things don't get great gas mileage.
And they're not known for being sprightly speed cars.
No. This has the 4-speed manual, which was standard back then. You can get up to 70 miles an hour pretty comfortably at 3,000 RPM, and that's about all you'd want to do. It's got that good old reliable 4.2-liter engine, which I guess was a knockoff from the Chevy trucks back in the day. And I haven't had any trouble with it. Did some maintenance on it, did the front hubs, just the basic stuff.
Yeah, normal maintenance
Brakes,
stuff.
clutch, tires, battery. It's got the old carburetor in it, so you have to pull on the choke to get it to start. But boy, does it pull. I mean, it's got torque.
Yeah.
And I have a 1,500-pound trailer on the back, empty. So I fill that with brush or whatever I want to take to the dump, and you hardly know it. I mean,
you just doesn't know it's there. It just pulls right through.
Just pulls right through.
These 60 series are just smoking hot right now. The value is climbing and climbing. I don't know when it's going to stop. And the early ones, in my opinion, with the round headlights, are the better looking.
Yep.
The round headlights, I think, are more desirable. It looks nicer. It looks.
It just has a clean, fresh look to it, even after all these years.
It has a beautiful brown color, minimal dents. Is there even any door dings?
I have a few paint scratches, but that's about
But yeah,
it.
and here's the kicker. Here's the big kicker. Mills, how many miles does this 60 series Land Cruiser have on it
Today,
today?
99,904.
99,000 miles. This Land Cruiser is under 100,000 miles. That's ridiculous. That's almost unheard of today.
Well, it just basically sat here waiting for me to take a load to the dump, and that's about all it's done for the last 20 years.
Let's take a look at the engine.
Not been detailed. It hasn't even been sprayed off. This is all just original dirt and grime, which will come off with degreasing.
Yeah, degrease, maybe a little pressure wash. But this is a 99,000 mile engine from a car that's been well taken care of, which is what we always try to preach on Collector Car Feed, is regular maintenance, taking care of the car. That is going to be the best thing you can do for the car to retain, maintain, and really raise its value.
Now, I did do a little work. I replaced the hoses a few years back, had the radiator boiled out, put a new clutch on the fan, but basically that's about all that's been done.
Let's take a look at that gorgeous interior.
Yeah. That's got a little dirt on it. I just day before yesterday ran a load to the dump and got all dusty.
You were the coolest guy at the dump, Mills. I can guarantee you that.
A lot of people were asking me about it because I had my for sale sign up on the back.
And this car is for sale.
Look at the headliner.
Yeah, we were talking about this headline earlier. I don't think it's ever been. Usually, you'll get fingerprints right here, climbing in and out of it. But this is
I've seen cars
just pristine.
on classics.com, and they refer to cars on Bring a Trailer. And these typically go for high 20s to low to mid 30s. And I've seen quite a few of them, and most of them have dirty headliners.
You've got the sheepskin covers, but I'm sure the seats are pristine underneath.
Look at that. Original material.
Beautiful pattern.
Same one that's in the door.
Yeah, same as in the door.
So it's not ribbons.
Yeah.
Like most that you see. And look at the carpet. The carpet's in virtually new condition.
No holes in the carpet from a heel. Nothing. Does it have air conditioning?
Yes, and it actually still works. Just like the MR2.
Oh, okay.
Toyota knew how to make air conditioning systems back then that would just keep going and going and blowing and blowing. Got the original tool set underneath the seat. It's never been used. And I'm afraid the back is filled up with moving boxes. But the carpet in the back I showed you earlier.
you have sheepskin covers on the rear seats as well.
Yeah, these are just synthetic things.
Oh, okay.
But you can see right here in front of the door, which probably gets the most dirt, it's in pristine condition. They called this color walnut brown.
It's nice. I like it. And with the interior, it just looks great. A funny thing about Toyota at the time, with the horn buttons, they just made one horn button and used it on all on all three sides to save money.
Right.
So the horn is upside down here.
Well, that's good efficiency, right?
Yeah. Hell, they put it where it needed it, in the engine and the drivetrain.
And I always like these.
The clamshell type doors.
The fold down hatch, which make sure we don't bump it against the trailer. No, there we go. There you go. That's going to be the dirtiest part of the back.
Yeah, little bit of
for a little.
Nothing a vacuum won't fix right there.
You know, I've taken hay bales and straw bales in this thing, and boy, that stuff is hard to get out of carpet. But it's all clean. Oh, I added these and.
Yeah, those are. I was looking at those earlier. I like those. They're nice.
Managed to preserve the original taillight lenses.
Beautiful car. Let's get. You want to give her a start up? Let's hear that engine. Perfectly smooth. Mills, this is what dreams are made of right here. People dream of finding a car like this.
Well, I hope it goes to a good home.
I guarantee you it will, because the person that buys this car is going to be a good owner, for sure.